You can start, inshallah.
Can you start us with a dua, please?
Did you say dua? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So can you not do it?
No.
Okay, I would like to ask my supplications to God and share with you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه آمين يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for coming. Today, inshallah, we're starting a new word, the 11th word. It's on page 133. So it's an interesting word. It's divided into two sections. The first section is kind of a story or an analogy. And then the second section is reflecting on this analogy. So we're going to take some time to read the analogy together and, analyze it together. If we really understand the analogy, the rest will be easy. So don't get frustrated if we take too long with the analogy, because that's the main thing of the whole word. So let's begin. And again, just as a reminder, if you need to comment or question anything, just raise your hand and I'll stop talking there. Alrighty, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The 11th word. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. By the sun and its glorious splendor, by the moon as it follows it, by the day and as it shows the sun's glory, by the night as it conceals it, by the firmament and its wonderful structure, by the earth and its wide expanse, by the soul and the order and proportion given it. So these are verses from chapter 91 or Surah Ash-Shams. Before we move on, what do you guys understand of these verses? Okay. Does anybody go ahead, Brother?
Yeah, I have read the text before, so I am familiar with the content of the text that we are going to read today. And the following weeks, I think more than a couple of weeks will take to study this very important section of the book we are reading. It's very important, seems to be very simple, it's going to tell us a simple story, as if we are going to go to sleep or something, but it is very full of wisdom. But at first glance, when I looked at these verses here, as if it looked like it has nothing to do with the rest of the content of the text. I think you got the same impression because you are nodding your head and saying that, oh, what is it to do with this text? Of course, we will see and try to connect it, and it will be a kind of explanation of the last verse quoted here of the section. The last verse, yes, by the soul and the order and proportion given to it. Actually, we are going to study this. That's what my impression is, and you will judge and you will say no or yes at the end of the whole discussion of this text, the 11th word. Why it says by the sun and its glorious splendor, and the moon as it flows it, or by the day as it shows the sun's glory, all the rest, and the night as it conceals, by the firmament, the heavens, and it is a wonderful structure, and by the earth and its wide expanse. This is the very fundamental principle of the author that we are studying here, to take the universe seriously, the way it is structured. So starting from there, look, this is a wonderful word. What is it for? How come it exists? How can I explain it? What's the meaning of it, of course? And what am I going to do here in this wonderful word? It is so exciting to reflect on the way the universe is functioning, and the verses are pointing to this. And then the human beings come to themselves and say that, what is the purpose in my existence? Yeah, who I am. And the content of the section we are going to read today, titled The 11th Word, is this. That's why I said the last verse, by the soul, it means you and me. Of course, this word is originally nafs. Yeah. So what is nafs? Of course, in Arabic, nafs is used for many purposes. One of them is a human being. Start from the general one. One of them is every single being has its own existence, which is called nafs. That's the first. And come to the humankind, every single person is called as a nafs in the Arabic language. That is the second. The third one is called, is the egoistic side, this ambitious desires of human side of human beings. This side of human beings, which looks for the truth, and the other is so wicked, looks for the alternative, which is described in the Quran, the side of the human being. Of course, the free will is given to human beings to make decisions between two options, which is right, which is wrong. When we took the wrong option and chose the wrong option, we are following the nafs in the language of the Quran. That is the third one. Following the common languages, satanic inspirations. This is nafs, the third one. The fourth one is not used in the Quran generally in this form, but sometimes you can understand it as it is translated into English as soul. which means, in fact, generally, spirit, ruh in Arabic, in the language of human soul, sometimes people refer it to the ruh of the human beings. The Quran doesn't really specifically relate this word because it has another word for it, which is ruh. So I personally prefer spirit to use for the ruh, and soul. There is no other egoistic side of human being. It's too long. If someone wants to translate it in one word, I mean, this person can use soul in order to explain the egoistic side of it. Now, the soul and the order and the proportion given to it means here specifically the human being itself. Not only the spirit, but of course, spirit side of human being makes a human or animal human into a human being. If there was no spirit, it is just a flesh and bone and body, maybe living body, that's it. Here, the human whole structure, if you like, a human, for example, my body, my feelings, and also my spirit altogether. This is very interesting because we always emphasize the importance of this point in our discussions. When we say human beings, it means the spirit using the physical eyes, nose, tongues, ears, and skin, etc., in order to communicate with the outside world, which means all these material side, which is animal side, animate being, as an animate being, are the windows for the spirit to operate, work with the outside creation. Now, let's say that the human body is a house, and the spirit, ruh, resides in it. And eye, nose, tongue, ears are like windows that the spirit looks through and communicates with the rest of the external world. I think you understood, or I mean, you know that I cannot really explain what I think in English, so I'm trying my best. You can help me. So by the soul, the whole structure of human being, it is my spirit, my mind, my intelligence, my eyes, nose, ears, and tongue, and everything, and then my physical body. It is so perfectly structured, and the order and proportion given to it. Yeah, now we understand that according to the needs of human spirit, in order to operate within this universe, it is perfectly arranged and prepared in order to function with no difficulties with the rest of the world. For example, intelligence, conscience, consciousness, all of them can operate in this world within a perfect plan, program, perfect adjustment. That is why all the we are not going to go into the importance of by the sun, by the moon. Why by? It means a swearing. It means I take an oath. It means I can show them as my evidence, what I for the truthfulness of what I am going to tell you. The Quran uses this expression, those authors, in order to draw our attention and look at this and use it as an evidence for the witness, use them as a witness in order to understand what I am going to tell you, especially in order to have an evidence for the truthfulness of what I am going to tell you. This is the important way of understanding the verse and how the author really establishes and structures his argument, starting from the evidence outside of the world and comes to human reality. As we are created, we are designed, perfectly engineered. That is human reality. And what is human responsibility within this perfectly arranged body? It seems to be only body from outside. And the body is also perfectly located within the rest of the universe, and we can have no difficulties to communicate with the rest of the world and exercise our intelligence on it. How am I going to make sense of my existence within this whole creation? The perfect example how we should understand the Quran and utilize it, and we will see how the author is really making a comment and at the same time benefiting from the guidance of these verses. Now, I mean, because this author, like many others, uses the Quran first as a guide, how to reason and see if it makes sense, and then looks at the universe, what the Quran says, and comes back to confirm it. And then the confirmation of what of the author, anybody about the truthfulness of these verses, makes his comment. That is somehow very interesting for this author. That's what I love is this author's commentary. When you look at it, if someone reads the standard commentaries, traditional commentaries, we will say, this is not a comment on these verses, but the method is extracted from these verses in a way that when we read the comment, at the end of the comment, we can come back and confirm these verses, saying that, yeah, they are telling me the truth, what I observed in the universe. So they start mutually working together as a guide and also as a means of confirmation. I mean, this is very interesting. If I could explain it, if I couldn't explain it, please, anybody who understood the importance of communicating with the Quran in this way, it is really essential. The Muslim world needs this combination. Looks like contradictory. One side goes to one extreme, says, Quran is a guidance, that's it, whatever it says, we have to confirm it. The other one is, without taking the guidance of the Quran, pure rationality is applied and used in order to understand the universe. And then this rationality, without the guidance of its creator, as if I am using this computer and not using the user's manual, prospectus, and then just trying to understand something without referring to the user's manual and coming up with something. It cannot be complete as the engineer has explained in the manual handbook. I think this example helps us. So what the author does, looks at the manual and doesn't imitate it and takes it as a guide and goes to the computer and applies it. When it realizes, when the author realizes, it says, yes, this manual has been prepared perfectly by the one who designed and engineered this computer. This is called belief. Without prejudice, without any preconceived culture, but uses the evidence under the guidance of the manual book. And if at the end, if he can confirm it, then goes back to the manual, says, yes, you are the manual prepared by the engineer of this computer. I confirm it. This is called really belief based on search and reasoning as well, because I'm reasoning meanwhile. When we say, I believe in the Quran, we must follow this method in order to confirm it. Otherwise, we are Muslims, yeah, correct. And we are somehow convinced that it is a good book. Yes, I mean, this is not invalid. This is a good intention. We have to appreciate it as compared to those rejected. But if we look at the reality outside, we must be aware that every follower of any religion says the same thing. I am a Buddhist, and my literature, Vedas, whatever they have, are really beautiful because there are some beauty in everything. There is some beauty in everything. Especially, we have to be careful. If we corrupt ourselves, this is also another essential matter that we have to bear in mind. Never forget this. If I corrupt myself, rather than being a human being, if I become a worm-like animal, rotten apple is my food and I love it. Do you see what I mean? But these kind of people are exceptional, really, as compared to the majority of the people. The majority of the people don't know. We shouldn't accuse them. But at the same time, there are some people adamantly reject religion. They are like worms enjoying the taste of the rotten or food which are gone off. Carrying of the being things, food, not the fresh food. Because they cannot really, for example, some insects are created. They don't like sun, they don't like fresh air, they love under the soil, being in a damp place. That is lovely for them. I liken it to a corrupted spirit by human beings. We cannot corrupt the spirit, but our usage puts a very, very heavy stain on it, and the mirror of spirit cannot reflect any truth anymore. These are really exceptional people, but very dangerous. We have to really keep away from this kind of adamant people. in denying and rejecting without really reasoning based on their basis. They base their arguments on biases, saying that religion is not for me, and then starts rationally using their argument, making excuses. Thank you. I really thought this share these aspects of the methodology of reading the Quran, and we have to prepare our mind that the following piece will be an explanation, commentary on these verses, and also confirmation of the truths of these verses. Two sides work at the same time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. I was wondering the same thing. What do these verses have to do with the rest of the reading? So thank you for that. All right, let's continue. Brother, if you want to understand a little about the talisman of the wisdom of the world and the riddle of man's creation and the mystery of the reality of the prescribed prayers, then consider this short comparison together with my own soul. So right after reading this paragraph, I was wondering, what do these verses have to do with prayers and man's creation? Because usually if you want to talk about prayers, you would look for verses on that speak directly about prayers. But here it's different. So let's find out together. One time there was a king. As wealth, he had numerous treasuries. Oh, go ahead.
I think we should pay attention to the vocabulary used here, because it will be somehow easy if we understand this introductory sentence, which is a single paragraph here, which says, if you want to understand a little about the talisman of the wisdom of the world. Now we are going to analyze what is the wisdom of this world existing out there. You see that it is relating to the verse, actually, the verses we read about. So it is a talisman. It doesn't really, if you don't concentrate on it, if one doesn't intentionally try to make sense of the existence of the rest of the world, they wouldn't see the wisdom in it. They would say it existed by itself. It is happening eternally in this way. I don't care what is the source of its existence, etc. Because it looks like a talisman. Why? Because it needs special care, special attention to understand the world. Otherwise, if we just live here as the flow or as the flow of our life, we would never ever realize the wisdom of this world. Why it exists out there. We say, I'm going to benefit from it as much as I can enjoy my life with it. That's it. No wisdom. That's why the author really carefully put an adjective in it, the noun in it, the talisman of the wisdom of the world, because it is something to do with talisman. Why I would like to go in deep analysis of this introductory paragraphs, the verses and this one, because if we keep these points in our mind, that we are going to, if you like, solve the talisman of the wisdom of the world, especially the wisdom of the world, What is the wisdom in its existence? This is one point that we are going to discuss this. Religion is directly related to solving the talisman of the wisdom of the world. The second point is going to be really dealt with in the following sections, the riddle of man's creation. It's a riddle. Why? Look at many people or ourselves, myself, I don't know you, but myself. When I look at myself, I just wake up in the morning, start my day, I do some sort of exercises, limited this walk, go for a walk and reflect on my new day and what I have been given yesterday while I'm walking and doing my supplications. This is my private life. But I just go out there, and if I don't really have a particular attention, I wouldn't know that my existence is in fact a riddle, needs to be solved. Now, it's not simple. This is what I am. What do people say? Human beings are speaking animals, economic animals, social animals, developed animals. I mean, the last version of the animal kingdom. That's what the biologists describe. But at the end, all of them end up with the word animal. Excuse me. Body may be animate. Yes, it is not maybe. Body is animate, like other dogs and cats and I don't know, worms, birds, but yeah, animate being. But my existence does not get animated by my life. Animal and a dog also is the same. Its existence is animated by life only, almost only. I wouldn't say 100%, but almost only. They have some special feelings particular to them, but not general and not to be developed, improved, static and limited. These are the stages of creation or types of creation that God manifests as the creator, manifests his power, his wisdom in creation, so that the human beings, the conscious human beings, can make sense of which kind of creator he is. That is why human beings should not be reduced to body and life in body, but what my all senses, consciousness, and intelligence, all my other emotional side of me makes me animal, makes me a human being. That's why man's creation is a riddle waiting to be solved. And the mystery of the reality of the prescribed prayers. Wow. What is it to do here? Looks interesting, because prayer, prescribed prayer, is salah in Arabic. And for those people who are from Arabic and Urdu speaking, namaz, and Turkish as well. So namaz. So, this is why, because he will study and present it shortly in the rest of the text. It represents and includes the gist of relationship between human beings and their creator, which is called worshiping relationship. Now, the worship doesn't mean only while I am praying and fasting. No. It is very, very limited way of understanding. So worship means, for example, now we are here. I'm speaking now, maybe later on I will listen, and then you are listening. In fact, if we are doing it in order to solve our creation, which kind of riddle that my creation is as a human being, and understand the truth in my existence, it is a worship. It is I think, one of the most important type of worship, reflection, as the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, says, reflections in 1 hour is worth even better than 1 year's regular religious performance of rituals. What does it mean? We are reflecting here. No, we are really doing a great act of worship. Now, prayer, this prescribed prayers, includes all our aspects of creation. What is that? My body confirms what my conclusion is about belief. My life is devoted to it, and my spirit gets satisfaction from my conclusions and expresses out who I am and who my creator is, the creator of this universe is, and I am really presenting my reality to him. So the prescribed prayers really is used worship here. So we can say that, what are we going to do? Okay, we understood our creation, the wisdom of the creation of the universe, and the wisdom of wisdom in my existence. And then what am I going to do now? I have to come to a conclusion which satisfies me, and then definitely I need to put it into practice in my life while I'm giving existence within the conditions of this universe. That is called worship, if you are worshiping God. But some people worship what? Nature. Oh yeah, they are thankful to nature itself. It doesn't make sense to you and to me also, but there are some people, rarely, though there are not many, nature worshippers. But most of the people are not aware of anything. It is a shame on us. We couldn't really deliver this message to those people. Majority of the population of the world are not aware of the beauty of the message of the Quran. It is a shame on the people, or I take it on myself, that we could not really share this reality that we learn from the Quran and let other people also enjoy the pleasure of submitting to God. Inshallah, we will do our best. We will pray for it all together. Wassalamu alaikum. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the very deep reflection. We have a message. Can we say, in order to understand the reality, mystery of worship, we have to go through those steps, wisdom of existence, which is mentioned in the paragraph? It looks like necessary steps of progress. Brother Ali, do you want to respond to that?
Good comment. I will appreciate our friend's contribution. Yeah, without going through this, solving the talisman of wisdom of the world, and then mystery of the reality of prescribed prayers, and we cannot read. This talisman of the wisdom of the world, and then the riddle of the man's creation, and then we can only then what we understood from the comment, only then we can perform our worship. But it doesn't mean that it has to be 100% perfectly completed. No. If I am convinced 1%, I will perform my worship within the capacity of this 1%. No more, no less. So as soon as we say, oh, there is something interesting in my existence, I have to do something. I see, I think there must be a creator. Yeah. I can communicate, I should communicate with him, and I have to thank him as much as I realize. Yes, we have to do it, perform it, so that it will progress. It will progress. If we never start, it will never happen in our life. So gradually we will go, but the expected process goes through understanding of the universe, the wisdom in it, and then the wisdom in the creation of man, and then performance of the worshipful activities. Prescribed prayer represents all of them, not one itself, but it is the pillar of everything. I think it is the pillar of our daily life, in fact. Inshallah, we will see. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's begin. One time there was a king. As wealth, he had numerous treasuries containing diamonds and emeralds and jewels of every kind. Besides these, he had other hidden, wondrous treasuries. By way of attainment, he had consummate skill in strange arts and encompassing knowledge of innumerable wondrous sciences, and great erudition in endless branches of abstruse learning. Now, like every possessor of beauty and perfection, wants to see and display his own beauty and perfection. That glorious king wanted to open up an exhibition and set out displays within it in order to make manifest and display in the view of the people the majesty of his rule, his glittering wealth, the wonders of his art, and the marvels of his knowledge, and so that he could behold his beauty and perfection in two respects. The first respect, so that he himself.
Do you think you can share your, I think, anybody else, but as an moderator, you have the priority. So what I say you means everybody, including you, of course, to share what are the interesting points here mentioned. Any thought about it? Anything attracted your attention? Anybody actually, you can ask everyone. So what attracted their attention in this paragraph? For example, we can now get our mind ready. I think we understood what a king represents here.
Right. When I first read the paragraph, I honestly found it interesting that the king wants to open up an exhibition and set out displays within it. I don't know why. I felt like, okay, normally a king would want to do that to sort of, show off his work, but at the same time, protect it from everybody else. Like if I have all this treasuries and wealth, the first thing I would want to do is keep it to myself. Make sure to protect it. No one is gonna, take it. So I was kind of weirded out by the idea that, okay, let me display everything in it. Yeah, that's just my thoughts. Go ahead.
No, this is, if anybody else, please share your ideas. I just speak. You can anytime interrupt me, anybody, the moderator and anyone in the class, in this room. So please feel free to interrupt me. I am an old guy. I don't mind. I don't say, oh, you are interrupting. Now, it is very interesting why the example, this story or comparison is made in this way. A king wants to, it is interesting, wants to display his qualities. But this king has all the adjectives are used here, the knowledge, or all of them, all the qualities mentioned here, wondrous treasuries, and also diamonds, emeralds, jewels, they are all really represent the things in the universe. Well, each galaxy is a diamond. I mean, that is in our human language, we can say it is so precious, so important. We use diamond or other kind of precious stones. These are used to really appreciate the beauty or the quality, perfectness of the work out there. We know that all enormous, unparalleled qualities that the king has. No one has like him. Of course, we know that the king is, of course, the owner of this universe. Why? The exhibition hall is this world, this universe. It's obvious. I mean, you are all intelligent people. If I understood it, you would definitely understand it. But the important question everybody asks, and it's a legitimate human question, why did he want to display it? Did you hear this question? Anybody in the room? I mean, why? If there is a God, this kind of people ask this kind of questions. If there was a God, why would he bother to display it? God, why does he display it? So, did you hear this question, anyone?
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I just wanted to say, I mean, this is a very real question, but also a question I sometimes have, because the king, as Riddle also said, is not mandated to share anything, right? And also, like, I guess the way that this paragraph sets it forth that a little bit confuses me sometimes is that the glorious king wanted to, that this desire to share it, but I have difficulty in understanding that desire, as if that desire takes hold of the king, or how to make sense of it given the sort of absolute nature of the king that we are able to conclude upon through reflection.
Now, if this is a very interesting question, if you don't mind, let's try to cover the rest of our time today just for this part of the story, starting with description of the scenario of the universe, actually. We all know that, we understand that. Now, God, let's speak it not as in the form of the story here, but in the real terms, the creator of the universe is, we don't know which kind of essence he has. Does he have a mind to speak? No, we are created beings. We are made. We are given enormous capacities just in order to understand the meaning, the message delivered to us in this universe. And we look at it through what? Through our, if you like, binocular or microscope, human microscope, looking at everything in detail and trying to understand. And we are given the sense of, for example, I see the moderator's picture. Behind her picture, I see there are things hanging on the wall. And we all know that we have some things hanging on the wall. Why do we hang it? Especially if I do something. Salam, microphone is open. Salam, Farhan.
Almost. My hair is drying. Socks are going to be put on my feet right
Can
now.
mute it, brother.
I'm not going to go outside.
Thank you. Okay, it happens. We are human beings, don't worry. We have the senses. These senses, we have to understand that these senses I have are not created by me. And I cannot attribute it to the chance or anything unknown within the universe. I mean, not unknown. It was a wrong concept. Anything that I find in this universe is to be the all source of existence of my senses. So what I understand, my senses are operating through the universe, okay? Looks at the universe, gathers the information, analyzes it, and comes to a synthesis, which is called our conclusions. Belief. Maybe belief in God, or maybe belief in, I don't know, nature usually, or any part of this world, the sun, or I don't know, natural laws, whatever the people call them, creator, the belief. Let's just, we know that, and we are all here satisfied that this universe must have a creator. It cannot happen by itself. We thought about it, we analyzed it, we said, no, there must be a creator. So there must be a creator for my being as well, for my feelings as well. What I do, I use this sense of, if I know knowledge, I share it. If I know something useful to the human beings, I present it. But I may misuse it, I may abuse them as well, but I practice them in the positive way, or as an opposite side, corrupted way. I have a free will, never forget this. So I strongly believe that all of the people are here have a good intention and not corrupted free will. So maybe myself, but so you are really very pure, innocent people, as far as I can see in our relationship so far. Now, we know that we accept our creation is realized by the creator of this universe, and we are given the tools in order to make sense of the existence of the universe. Therefore, in order to come to a conclusion about the qualities of the creator of this universe. These are our senses. We have to understand that. The analogy here is given through our senses that we can understand. For example, if I love, it means love something, love beauty, for example. It means my creator created me in order to love beauty. It doesn't mean that I love beauty by myself. The ability is given to me. That is essential to understand. So I am using my senses, if I am helpful to any other being, I am happy. This is the way I understand that my creator wanted me to get to know him as the one who loves helping the needy ones like us. That's why he provided everything for us before we are created in this world. All the tools are given to us because we need them in order to operate within this universe. So these senses say, and it tells me that I want to display what I have. What does it mean? I can understand that my creator wants me to know him as the one who has chosen to be known, to be helpful, to do some good things to the needy beings that he created. That is how I can understand it. I cannot speculate on the nature of God. I can only use my tool. For example, I am using, the simple example is better to understand this. I am using my eye to see. When I see, I said that my creator has given me the ability to see. So I acknowledge that my creator is the source of existence of the power of sight, or source of existence of my ability to see. So he must want me to know him as the one who is absolutely seer. It means sees with no time and space restrictions. Absolute quality of seeing he must have. That's my conclusion. I haven't met God with eyes or trillions of eyes that sees everything deep. No. Using my own ability. That's so simple. That is my duty, to acknowledge who my creator is and how can I know him. This is only way to know him. That is why I say God, the creator, must have, this expression is extremely important. I am not saying is, no, must have, conclusion. After using my abilities, I understand that he must have preferred the existence rather than non-existence. That's why he gave me the existence. I understand. I am not really speculating on God, but I am coming to a conclusion by saying he must have this choice. So demonstrating that to me, he has an absolute will, absolute choice, and he preferred to choose like that. When I have something in my being, for example, to do something good work, I share it with you. For example, why do you think I am speaking now? in order to share my ideas, my understandings with you, because I love them and I want you to have what I love. Right? I think, Ayşenur, there are many things to talk about this paragraph, but Ayşenur wants to speak, so I should stop.
Assalamualaikum. Maybe we can continue next week, because I do have a few questions or comments, but I also know that the time is up, so I will leave it to the moderator to decide.
Oh, hard decision. If you, I think maybe you can ask the questions, and then so at least we can take note of it, and then we can discuss them in depth the next time.
Okay, thank you. Then very quickly, I'll just say this.
I may speak because she's waiting to say something.
Okay. So I'll just say, I'll try to indicate towards the line of thought that I'm thinking about right now. So you made an important point that I do not have access to the essence of my creator, right? But through my own given qualities, through reflecting on my own createdness, I can come to deduce, come to conclude, as well as, reflecting on creation, I can come to some conclusions about the qualities of my creator. I guess the word that you use, speculation, is an interesting word, because I'm wondering the limit towards which, the limit that my my own reflections on creation can take me to knowledge or understanding of the source of existence, right? At what point does it become an overreach or a commentary on what God is like in terms of essence, rather than just reflections on creation itself? I mean, in this paragraph here, it seemed a little bit like it was a little bit from God's perspective in terms of wants or non-wants, right? I agree that I can conclude that existence of this world was preferred, but I don't know if I can make note of why that preference was per se made, right? And I can note that it was that preference is full of mercy, that preference is full of compassion and wisdom, but there comes a certain, I guess, I feel limit towards which I can then extend that and say it's because of this, or here it said wants to see and display his own beauty and perfection. I mean, I think there's a limit towards which my reflections about myself as a human being can take me to conclusions about my creator. So I know this is a big topic, and I understand it to a certain extent, but I'm again wondering the line that's present in terms of conclusions about his qualities versus conclusions about his essence, if you will. Thank you. Jazakallah.
It is very important because although I don't know from God's perspective why this preference has been realized, but I am absolutely sure that it is in front of me. And here I am, I exist. So I am responsible with my own qualities. For example, are you responsible for something that which is completely beyond your power? No, we understand this. I am responsible only for the qualities given to me in order to appreciate these qualities and let them function without distortion, and then come to a conclusion. I use my own conclusions. I see the universe. I say, whoever is the source of existence of this universe must have preferred it to create this universe. Here the universe is. I understand this, but I cannot understand his own perspective, but still I use my own qualities to make sense of it. That is what the sense I have. If I have something good, I prefer to demonstrate it. That's what you spoke. That's what I am, why I am speaking here. Why? I have something that's exciting about your after your comment, hearing that, oh yeah, yes, we understand. Not because my capacity is not enough. I am responsible within my capacity. This I see is very interesting understanding of some people saying that we cannot understand, so we should shut up our qualities. No, submit blindly. No, I am responsible within my qualities. I have to use my qualities and come to a conclusion. Although I don't know about the essence of the creator, essence of the creator's qualities, but what I know through my own capacity, which are given to me, that this one must have the all qualities I acknowledge in this world in the form of absolute. Why do we keep saying absolute rather than one God, one God? Absolute means, ahad means absolute, which means I can just conclude that he must have absolute qualities, but I don't know what the content of absolute is. It's a very good word so far I could find. So we should understand that we are not expected to go beyond our capacities, but we have to use our capacities and utilize it and come to a conclusion that the creator must have preferred to display his qualities and created me as a conscious being to really appreciate these qualities. And so I have to do it within my own capacity. I cannot go beyond my skin. That's everybody knows it. If there was another thing which is beyond the capacity given to me to be comprehended, it is not my responsibility. Why should I bother about the essence of the creator? The God doesn't say, neither in the universe nor in his scriptures, that I have to know his essence. No, I have to know that his essence exists. That's it. Not the content of the essence, but his essence must be an absolute one. It means not of the type of nature of this universe. So I confirm his existence. It is very important. I confirm that such a being must exist. If the universe is out there, the universe points to its existence, but gives me some impressions of his qualities, and that's it. That's it. I have these qualities to identify the creator, such as he must have absolute power. Look at the language, not he has absolute power. He must have, it's my conclusion using my own power. I think we have to pay very, very serious attention this kind of terminology, vocabularies we use here. They are really the results of more than 50 years of reflections. He must have, this is belief. He is imitating the Quranic language. God is speaking in the Quran. He says, I know everything. I say, look, I looked at myself and the universe, used the qualities given to me. Oh yeah, the creator of this universe must have infinite knowledge. That is belief. God has infinite knowledge is not belief, imitation of the language of the Quran. But people use it in an innocent way. But we have to, in this class, is a special class to me, to get the methodology of communicating with the Quran. Sorry, I am excited with the comment of Ayşe Nur, and sorry, inshallah, we can re-evaluate the content of this paragraph. It is the introductory. So if we understand this, the rest of the all text actually will be very easy to understand, inshallah.
Thank you. I'm very sorry that we went a little over time, but I'd like to just quickly read the comments and then we can, close out, inshallah. It's a very rich paragraph. So, all right. So some of the comments are from the paragraph again, that there's only one benchmark, which is all existence, universe, and our qualities to come to conclusion of those mentioned in the paragraph, as I understood, or what I understood. And then another comment is, yes, I can definitely conclude that the preference is there, and my responsibility is on the arena of awareness and knowledge given to me via creation and reflection on that creation. I see evidence that life is a gift to learn about who he must be by learning about who I am in relationship to him. Okay. And another comment, the language of the paragraph looks like from perspective of the creator, but it is like conclusion. I guess that is why it might create misunderstanding. I guess that is why we need to study. It is not just read. Yeah, I think this paragraph may seem like it's a perspective from the creator, but it's just an opening of the story. Lastly, recognizing that he must be the absolute one is key to this discussion, I think, as you said. Jazakallahu khairan. Thank you. Brother Ali, I think we can close with a dua here.
Yeah, without further delay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين